Greetings everyone, Garnet Schulhauser here, and welcome to another episode of my series entitled Startling Revelations from the Spirit Realm. Now those of you who aren't familiar with me may wonder, where do I get startling revelations from the spirit side? Well, it's because I got them through my spirit guide Albert, who confronted me on the street one day a few years ago disguised as a homeless man. And not only did he answer my questions, but he took me on a series of astral trips to the spirit side, to other places in the universe, because he wanted me to write about what I saw and heard in my books. Now, I've written 5 books in the metaphysical spiritual genre, and you can find out more about my books on my website, which is garnetschulhauser.com. Now, many of the things that I saw and heard on my astral trips with Albert really fly in the face of a lot of the things that religions have been preaching for centuries on our planet. And so they are startling to a lot of people because they're contrary to a lot of the beliefs they've held since they were a child. But the reality is that things really are much different than they are depicted by a lot of the religions on our dear planet. Now today I'd like to talk about a topic which is very controversial in our today's world, and that is abortion. The topic of abortion has been hotly debated in many countries throughout the world, and especially in the United States ever since the repeal of Roe v. Wade by the U.S. Supreme Court. And since the repeal of Roe, many states in the U.S. have enacted legislation to prohibit or severely restrict a woman's right to abortion. The proponents of strict anti-abortion laws mainly base their beliefs on the religious belief that abortion is a sin and contrary to God's wishes. The proponents of free and open abortion basically say that it should be a woman's right to decide whether to carry the fetus to its term or to abort it before it is born, and they believe that their right to have an abortion should not be infringed upon by any secular laws. Now today I'd like to discuss what souls in heaven or the spirit side or the other side, what they think about abortion that happens on our dear planet Earth, because clearly they seem to have a different perspective than what humans have on Earth. Souls in the spirit side understand that nothing that happens on planet Earth is a sin, including abortion, because the source or the creator or God does not make rules for us to follow on Earth. Therefore, nothing that happens on Earth is regarded as wrong or a sin by the source, because that just doesn't happen. They don't make any rules for us to follow, and so whatever happens on Earth is just part of being a human having a life on our planet. So that means that a woman who has an abortion on Earth is not judged or punished in the afterlife after her body passes away, and that she carries on just like any other soul who has done things on Earth, whether it be viewed as good or bad by humans. On the spirit side, there's nothing inherently bad or wrong about anything that happens on planet Earth. Now this concept, of course, is strictly contrary to a lot of religious beliefs, where they say that God has made rules for us to follow. If we breach those rules, we will be judged and punished if we were living a bad existence on our planet or being abusive to other people. But this is not the reality. As I've mentioned many times before, or if you've read any of my books, you know that there's no absolute right or wrong about things that happen on planet Earth. The reality is that souls in the spirit side, because they understand the cycle of reincarnation, they don't regard abortion as a sin or anything else for that matter that happens on planet Earth, which is really quite contrary to what most organized religions have preached over the years. So what happens with regard to an abortion? Well, the first step is that the soul of the mother who wants to get pregnant arranges for another soul, usually somebody part of their soul group, but not necessarily, to agree to incarnate into her baby. So that's all set up. What happens sometimes is that the soul of the mother changes its mind and decides that it doesn't want to have this baby. So the soul of the mother can change its mind about having the baby. and the soul of the mother will discuss the matter with the soul of the newborn baby, or destined for the newborn baby, and there's mutual agreement. And when that happens, the soul destined for the baby will find another baby to incarnate into, and then the mother on earth will trigger an abortion or a miscarriage. And sometimes it is the soul destined for the new baby who changes its mind and decides it does not want to incarnate into that particular baby. When the soul destined for the new baby decides it doesn't want to incarnate into that baby, as I mentioned, there will be discussions with the soul of the mother and mutual agreement, and that new soul will then move on to some other incarnation into a baby or a walk-in soul, or even on some other planet. In that case, the soul of the mother may try to find another soul to take the first soul's place to incarnate into her baby. And if she can, then of course the baby will be born in the normal course, but with a different soul as part of the birth. But if the mother can't find another soul who wants to incarnate into her baby, then she has no choice but to trigger a miscarriage or an abortion. So for souls on the spirit side, the bottom line is that abortion is a perfectly acceptable way of allowing souls to arrange their lives in a way that suits them best in terms of incarnating into a newborn baby. So that's how it works in terms of souls on the spirit side. It is not viewed as a wrong or a sin or anything untoward. It is really part of the natural process of souls selecting babies to be born into with the agreement of the mother, and to provide for changes that are required by either the soul of the mother or the soul destined for the new baby. That's all for now, folks. Remember to enjoy your journey, and above all, remember to keep on dancing.